Hey people, Seth Fiend here. Linux. I know some of you acoustics just soiled your pants after hearing that, because I just did. In a world where proprietary OS by Microsoft and Apple dog walks most of its users, Linux's open source and customizability stands as a beacon that can only be used by the most socially challenged of us. The barrier to entry for this OS is simply your lack of a social life. But Linux has so many flavors to choose from that you can get lost in the sauce. So this video will be a guide to picking the best Linux distro, not based on your use case, but based on how autistic you are. Ubuntu, Linux Mint, Kubuntu, and Pop! OS. Do you like vanilla ice cream? Do you drive a Toyota Corolla? Are you a fan of the missionary position? Ubuntu users are just regular dudes who are just slightly acoustic enough to use Linux. You may have a girlfriend, a stable life, and hobbies outside of sitting on your computer, such as sports. You're a wannabe, low on the spectrum, and slightly quirky. You're a solid wannabe tier. Once you were a productive member of society, you cared for others, brought people up, and were a positive role model in your community. But ever since you played League of Legends, your Autism levels were raised. Coincidentally, since Riot's Chinese spyware was added, you can't actually play this game on Linux anymore. Minus 100 social score. Fedora and Manjaro is perfect for individuals who were tainted by online gaming communities and have been cursed by Dr. Fauci himself to be put on the spectrum. You may drive Honda Civics with anime girl stickers on the back, go 3 to 4 days without showering, but you're still pretty low on the spectrum, more than most people for sure. Red Hat, you have a job. OpenSUSE, you have a job. In Europe. Debian, you are old. This is the geezer who hasn't gotten with modern times yet and still drives his Lincoln that he bought back in the 90s. It still runs and works, so why would he use anything else? The biggest issue with Debian users is the joint pain they suffer from due to years of sitting at the computer. Grandpa, please take your meds. This goes into the geezer category. Gen 2. Do you like watching paint dry? Do you love waiting in lines? Is elevator music the highest form of art to you? See, most distros ship binaries to you. These are pre-compiled packages that you can run locally on your machine. But in Gen 2, you have to compile not only your system, but anything you download on your machine, which can literally take hours. It's a distro that allows you to practice Buddhism, as the time you spend watching the compilation allows you to reflect on escaping the karmic cycle and achieving a higher plane of existence. Then you're brought back to reality as the compilation fails and you have to search for another hour on why it happened. Thus, by sacrificing any social skill you gained for the technical skills necessary for Gen 2, it goes into the Scotty Barnes tier. Shout out Mental Outlaw. Arch, are you trans? Do you plan to be trans? Do you not know you're trans yet? Is your hair color blue? Do you love to champion for humans' rights from your mom's basement? Arch is the perfect distro for the unemployed individual who wants to feel what it's like being a productive member of society. When using Arch, you're going to spend most of your time on configuring your desktop environment of hyperlink, I don't make the rules, so that you can post it on r/Unix porn for fake internet points. However, despite the lack of bitches, Arch in the modern time has actually become very easy and mainstream. It goes into a solid Scotty Barnes tier. KLinux, you're the hacker man, and you're probably 14 years old. This really isn't even a distro, but just Debian with a bunch of pen testing software. But KLinux is a unique distro in which it has a rich community of 14-year-old kids who want to hack their school Wi-Fi so they can watch the latest KaiSaNet streams. Scotty Barnes tier. You hear voices from ethereal spirits who tell you to set up an illegitimate business selling performance-enhancing medication to your local gym buddies. But uh-oh, you think the government is on to you, and they will squeeze the tax dollars out of you. Enter Tails OS, an operating system for all your schizophrenic needs. Tails routes all internet traffic through an onion network. This privacy-focused OS ensures that all your illegal activities and schizophrenic needs are safeguarded from the big bad Biden. Tails users have trouble keeping eye contact with any other human due to fear of having their data harvested from their retinas. You go into the never touched a woman category. Do you love file cabinets? Do you love having to inscribe a document every time you need to install a program, change a setting? Does the thought of a cluttered desk scare you? NixOS is an operating system where everything lives in files. This is so that you can easily set up the same system on another computer with minimal work. The main selling points are that it is immutable, atomic, and its reproducibility. Coincidentally, this reproducibility comes at the cost of the user's ability to reproduce. Nix users will spend more time trying to create the perfect config only to give up and use someone else's that they found online. They switch configs so many times that they never actually use it for anything useful. Shout out no boilerplate. It goes into the never talk to a woman category. Suffering from buyer's remorse? Feeling excluded from a community that you never knew about? Vanilla OS is for those who cannot make a decision. So you have all the other OSs bundled into one so that you never have to make a decision in your life. It's perfect for those who live in a constant state of FOMO. It goes into the never talk to a woman category. And if I didn't talk about your favorite distro, it's probably just a fork of one of these anyways, and you're just trying to be a little special snowflake, and that's okay. You go into the never talk to a woman category for pitching that, actually. Okay, see ya.